Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Rubania, E-commerceWali, and welcome to Soul Talk with Rubania. And today's guest is someone truly inspiring and devoted wife, loving mother, and physicist, physiologist, and mindful advocate, Dr. Tamar Shtrambrand. And thank you so much for joining. She runs our own private practice in Rockland Country, New York, while balancing family life with her husband and two children. Uh, Dr. Sternberg is deeply passionate about yoga, nature walks, healthy living, mindful truth, and personal awakening. She believes we living in a powerful time and of transformation and conscious shift, and she dedicates her work to helping others become more mindful, self-aware, and emotionally strong. So, thank you so much, Dr. Tamer, for joining, for your time. And hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Okay, first of all, can you introduce yourself?
Hi. So my name is Dr. Tamar Shtrambrand. I live in Rockland County, New York, which is just in the same kind of area as Westchester, New York, which most people know more. It's a very small county, and the smallest county in New York, and it's beautiful here. We live in the mountains, and I have a private practice, and I live with my three children and my husband here.
Okay, that's great. My next question is that can you tell me a little about your journey into psychology and mindfulness?
Sure. So psychology is a midlife career change. I'm 47 years old, and I became a psychologist at the age of 40. Before this, I spent about 20 years working as a pediatric occupational therapist in school settings and clinics with children, mostly with children with developmental disabilities and autism. And I have a child who struggled with autism. He's doing very well now. He's 18. And I was inspired to change careers because of my journey with him. And while testing children with autism is part of what I do, I also do a lot of counseling and psychotherapy with people, parents trying to raise children with autism, but also other areas of practice as well.
Oh, that's great. Your journey was nice, inspiring. And my next question is that what inspired you to open your own private practice?
Well, first of all, I got a lot of family support. I've always done 9 to 5, working for other people, doing what they want and focusing on what they want me to do. And when I became a psychologist, I worked in a community mental health clinic, and it was very stressful. And it was also very, very difficult to deal with the stress and also the schedule around my children who were younger at the time. So I moved on to working in a state psychiatric hospital, and I opened a part-time practice on the side, but it was impossible to balance the two. And politics and stress at the hospital just made the job very, very unbearable. So with the encouragement from my spouse, I went full time with my private practice last year, and around end of April, and I've been growing it ever since, and it's just blossoming.
Okay, that's great. And my next question is that how do you balance your professional life with being a wife and mother of three children?
It's an art. It's a constant balancing act. You have to prioritize. You have to know what's important. Is it your work and making money and fame and glory that's most important, or is it being a parent and a wife and a family person? So I would say when I was younger, I probably struggled with that more, but now not as much. I know what my priorities are, and if there's a child that needs to go to the doctor or needs me to come to a school meeting, or my spouse needs quality time, then I just work my schedule around it, and it's a constant balancing and juggling act.
Okay, nice. And my next question, what does mindfulness really mean to you?
Mindfulness is something that's been around for hundreds of years. It's not new, and Eastern cultures really excelled at it. And now the Western world is starting to finally catch on that it's really great. It's really wonderful. And it really, what it is, it conceptually is being present in the moment that you're in, whether it's with the person that is sitting in front of you, or whether it's just deciding that the mess of thoughts that are going through your head should slow down and focus on one thing at a time, which is really all what a person can do consciously. And there's a lot of different techniques of mindfulness. It could be meditation, it could be yoga, it could be exercise, it could be literally just sitting quietly and sitting still and focusing on one thing at a time. And you choose different techniques that you use yourself, and then obviously pass those tools on to your clients to teach them to have a calmer, in Western society, it's not going to be a stressful free life. It's just not possible. It's very, very difficult to live in the Western world. But at least using mindfulness techniques that have been around for hundreds of years to choose your stress at the moment and choose how you're going to allow your body to respond to that stress, and what techniques you're going to use to get through whatever it is you need to get through at that moment.
Absolutely right. Wonderful answer for my question, Dr. Tamar. And I really appreciate it. And my next question, how has yoga and nature influenced for your mental and emotional well-being?
You got stuck, and I didn't hear the entire question. Would you mind repeating it?
Oh, sure. My question is that how has yoga and nature influenced your mental and emotional well-being?
It's new. It's a newer thing for me. First of all, yoga I love because it strengthens my muscles. It gets my body moving. It lets the blood flow better, and in general, it combines mindfulness and meditation techniques along with the stretching and the exercising that you're doing. And I'm trying to get through a yoga instructor course. That's how much I love it. But it's not enough. It's a form of exercise and obviously mindful meditation. But it happens to be that here where I live, we live in the mountains. The winter months are too cold to go out, but when it's warm out, we have gorgeous parks here. We don't live near a beach, unfortunately. That would be ideal. I love the beach, but there's something about bodies of water, and whether it be a lake or a pond, and walking around it and in the forest, that's very, very calming. We don't go into nature enough. We get stuck in our houses, on our computers, on our phones, or going to work. And it's not the way humankind was meant to be. We were meant to spend time in nature and be one with nature. And I've just noticed that when I'm stressed out and I'm not able to cope, rather than popping a pill, which I won't do, I'll go take a drive to a local park, and I'll just walk around the park for an hour or two, and the stress goes away.
Wow, nice. And my next question, in your opinion, why are so many people struggling emotionally today?
That's a very complicated question, but we're living in complicated times. It's financial stress. A lot of people are struggling to find work in their fields. People are struggling to be able to put food on the table. But not just that. The most important thing that people are struggling with is that the family unit is at risk. The family unit, husband, wife, children, is the center of society. If we don't have children, we don't have a next generation. If we don't have next generation, we don't have humanity. And I think that between the financial pressures, and in Western society, both parents have to work and be out of the house a lot and balance a lot, making dinners, having a family, balancing family time with homework, jobs. I think that it's not natural, and it's not the natural order of what was meant to be for society and the family unit. And on top of that, the most important part, which I feel is important, listeners may not agree, God is supposed to be the center. of the family unit, and God has been kind of pushed out of the equation. And I think that that's why the family unit is falling apart. And if the family unit falls apart, the society falls apart.
Okay, that's great. And my next question, you often talk about awaking early, and what does that phrase mean to you?
Waking early,
Yeah, and what does the phrase mean to you?
waking up early. I believe that we are living in a spiritually evolving time. It's that you can feel it in the air. Something is shifting in our world spiritually. And what that means is, I think that people are tired of the stress and the lies that having more and having a more powerful business and having more money and having a bigger house and having more friends and having living in a fancier community and all that entails was all a lie, and it's not worth it. And I think that the world is ready for going back to simpler times where the most important things were neighborhood, family, um, living not poor, but living, having the basics and having quality relationships and quality community is what's most important. And we're moving back towards that. When you listen to the news, it's chaos. Nobody wants chaos. People just want simplicity and they want meaning. And that's why I feel there's a spiritual revolution in the air. And I think that everybody is feeling it. Everybody I know is feeling it. And it's very exciting.
Okay, that's amazing. And my next question, how can someone begin their mindfulness journey even with a busy life?
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
I'm saying that how can someone begin their mindfulness journey even with a busy life?
You have to make space for it. That's what mindfulness is, making space. So with the busy life, it doesn't take long to take 2 minutes out of your day to say a prayer. It doesn't take a lot of time to take 5 minutes out of your day to call up a friend and check in on them. It doesn't take a lot of time to sit down to dinner for 20 minutes or half an hour with your family and just go talk about what your day was like. These were things that used to be normal, especially when I was growing up. It was much more normal. And I had a stay-at-home mother, which was wonderful. She is the center of the family, and she made sure dinner was on the table every day, and she kept the home going, and it was a better, simpler life. And maybe we didn't have as much money or a big house, but we had connection. And that's what counts, is connection.
Okay, so Mira, my next question, how can what are some daily habits that help maintain inner peace?
I couldn't understand the last part. Can you say that one more time?
What are some daily habits that help maintain inner peace?
Okay. Exercise, and it doesn't have to be intense and it doesn't have to be long. It could be 10 to 15 minutes of just taking a walk. That's really important. You have to keep your body moving. Healthy eating, making healthy food choices to nurture your body. Trying, if you can, to take a walk in nature, even if it's just for 10 minutes around the block. And making sure on a daily basis that you connect with other people and do good for other people and not just get caught up in the busy bustle of work and stress. You have to make time every single day to connect with other people, not on the computer, in person. And also self-care, making sure that you're eating properly, that you're getting enough sleep, that you are taking time out every day to do something that you enjoy. And it's a fine art. It's very difficult to balance and juggle it all. But we are human beings. We are not robots, and these are the things that the human spirit needs. And of course, the most important thing of all is making sure to incorporate gratitude into your day. especially expressing gratitude to our Creator, the Creator who sustains all of us and takes care of all of us. All you have to do is say, "Thank you, God, for this food in front of me. Thank you, God, for this beautiful, for the putting a house over my head. Thank you for my being able to afford my bills. Thank you for the beautiful people that you put in my life." A person who has gratitude and expresses that gratitude every single day, starting with the Creator and of course with the people in their life and the things in their life, lives the healthiest and most balanced life of all.
Very good advice, Dr. Tamar. And my next question, how important is self awareness in personal growth?
So this is where the spiritual revolution that I was been talking about is happening. Personal growth is what's in now. It's really in. And personal growth doesn't have to be career. It could be something as simple as, you know, deciding every single day I'm going to take 15 to 20 minutes out to do something that I love. For me, it's yoga. I love yoga. I don't get to do it every single day. But personal growth also should be incorporated as including the other people in your journey of personal growth. People want to feel relevant. People want to feel that their life isn't a waste and that they're here doing something that's going to be left as a legacy and make an imprint on the world. And I think that it's become very, very in and very, very popular and an amazing trend. And that's why you see so many people now also becoming interested in religion that were never interested in religion before, whatever that religion is that they choose. So it's what being human is all about. We're here to grow and to leave an imprint behind.
Oh, nice. And my next question, what common misconception burnout and how did you overcome it?
Miscommunication happens all the time. um, it's very, very important when there's miscommunication to acknowledge, apologize, especially if you made a mistake, and to talk it out with the other person. And I'm not talking about yelling. I'm talking about, "Oh, I misheard you," or "I misunderstood you. I hurt you. I'm really sorry." Take personal responsibility and try to understand through talking it out face to face. If you can't do it in person, then not on the phone. You have to be able to see each other's facial expressions and to try to understand where things went wrong and to try to work through it and fix it. Because if you don't fix things, they fester and they come back to bite you over and over and over again.
Okay. So my next question, what role does truth play and in healing and self-discovery?
I'm sorry. I just need to ask you ask that one more time.
No problem. My next question, how can parents raise emotionally healthy and mindful children?
You have to spend time with them. You have to invest in them. And I know that everybody's working and everybody's busy balancing a lot of things, but if you don't put the time in to talk to your children and have dinner with them and have conversations with them and know what's going on in their life and be involved in their life and put aside other things that you'd prefer to do, then you're going to miss the experience of raising them and developing a relationship with them. And it starts from birth and it never ends, even when they're adults. I have not gotten to the point where anybody's an adult that's been launched living on their own just yet, but I make sure every single day to try, even if it's just for 5 minutes, to check in with my kids and see how they're doing, asking them how I can support them, and constantly investing in what's the most important legacy I'll ever leave in this world, which is them.
Okay, that's great. Next question, what advice would you give to people who feel lost or disconnected in life?
Um, I would say don't think you need to do it alone. Find community. You need people in your life. And always, always, always find a mentor. Find somebody older than you, wiser than you, that you can learn from. You can learn from each and every single human being. You're not perfect. Nobody is, and you should be part of a community and have people involved in your life and have relationships and shift your focus to relationships, because relationships are ultimately the most important tool and the most important investment that you'll make in this world.
Very good advice. Amazing. And my next question, how can mindfulness improve relationships and family life?
Because when you incorporate mindfulness into your relationships and your family life, you're making a commitment that when you are present in those relationships, you're present. The phone is off. It's not in the room with you. Okay, the doorbell rings, doesn't matter. You look at your phone and something interesting pops up and you want to check your email or whatever. No, you have to make sure that to carve out time every single day with your family. Maybe you won't be able to do it individually with each family member, but at least the family sits together, has dinner, or sits and plays a board game or chats and puts the rest of the world behind you for that period of time, because those moments won't always be there. The children will eventually grow up, move out, do their own thing, and you have to grab those sparks of potential for growing your relationship with your children, with your family, with your parents, with grandparents, because eventually we all leave this world and go on to another place, I believe. And if you miss those moments, you can't ever get them back. And the family is a foundation of society. Without family, we don't have a society and we don't build people. Home is where people are built, is the most beautiful phrase that I've ever heard. And that requires investment.
Wow, that's great. Amazing. And my next question, what message would you like to share with women trying to balance career, family, and self care?
My message is, as I said earlier, I was raised by a stay at home mom, and I feel that I was very, very lucky. I was luckier than most of the kids in the community that I grew up in. Most of them had mothers who worked, and a lot of them mothers came home very late. There was a lot of single mothers raising their children. And I would say that we should go back to that if we can. Women should focus more on family and raising a family and making that important than their careers. There's no perfect balance. And there's always going to be something that's going to win out. And you could have a multi-million-dollar business, but you can't have a multi-million-dollar business that doesn't require attention and then be able to give your full self to your families. So choose what's important and put more of yourself into what's more important. And I can't tell people what is more important. I know what I feel is more important, and I think a lot more people are realizing that too, is your children and your family. And the money and the glory of being a career person, it fades away, and it's not what you're going to be remembered for.
Beautiful message. I like it very much. And my last question, what is one life lesson you hope everyone listening today remember forever?
The life lesson I hope everyone remembers is there's nothing more important than leaving a legacy behind. And you can't leave a legacy behind if you don't invest in what's truly most important. And I think that there's an awakening in the air. I think a lot of people are feeling it, that we've lost that, and we want to go back to that. So find balance in what's truly, and put your time and your effort more into what's really the most important, which is relationships. There's nothing more important than relationships, community, friendships. Yes, professional relationships too, and once in a while it's okay to kind of break boundaries, in professional relationship, and in an appropriate way to show the person you care, because you might be the only person in their life that cares. And to understand that we are spiritual beings here on a spiritual experience, and we all have more in common than we have different. So the differences. So ignore externalities and focus on internalities and connect, connect, connect. Go out there. You never know. A smile or a hello could save someone's life.
Um, that's great. Nice lesson. And thank you so much, Dr. Tamar, for joining us today on Soul Talk with Rubania. And your wisdom, honesty, and claiming percentage were truly inspiring. We learned so much about mindfulness, emotional healing, self-awareness, and the importance of living fully, truthfully, and consequently. And thank you so much to our wonderful audience for listening and being part of this meaningful conversation. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Soul Talk with Rubania for more inspiring stories and soulful discussion. Thank you so much, Dr. Tremer.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Bye bye, everyone.